Let's talk to my man, Urijah Faber. UFC 203, he returns against Jimmie Rivera. Oh, there he is. Urijah, how are you?
Hey.
What's up, man?
Doing good, buddy.
How's life?
Doing good. Excellent, man.
You were going to say something to me.
I was going to say, good to see you in better spirits.
Yes.
Watch that sad show, man. That was a tearjerker.
Did you cry?
That was rough.
Did you cry?
Huh?
Did you cry?
I got a little choked up. No actual tears, but I got a little clench.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for watching. It's good to see you, man. Well, let's talk about UFC 199.
Yeah.
What happened?
I lost, man.
Yeah.
I think you saw it. You know, I came out, I had an amazing training camp first off, and I felt really good. And came out, it was a back and forth first round, and I feel like I had him a little fatigued.
Really?
Going into the second. I mean, I felt like that was the sense I got. And came out the second round, and he just caught me about a minute in with like a looping left hook that landed right on the button. And, this is the fight game, fight for world championship. I got rocked just a tiny bit, came out of it just in time to land an up kick and start scrambling. But I think I was skating the rest of that second round, kind of trying to regain composure and just wasn't on point after that. I feel like he got more into his groove. I feel like I was less creative and more kind of lulled by his awkward movement. And, it was a frustrating fight for me. It was still like I said, a decision that definitely went his way. Last time I felt like the fight could have gone anyway. This time I felt like it was definitely his fight. So, at least I had that I was able to put it all out there and take away something from the fight. You can't really remember what happens in a fight, so you go back and watch it. I waited about a week to watch it, and I still looked good, but just wasn't able to connect, wasn't able to get creative and really fought his fight.
Considering your history with him, considering where you are in your career, was that one of the tougher fights to deal with after the fact?
Not necessarily, man. I don't like to dwell on things.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's not the best feeling to lose, but I'm not defined by wins and losses. That's not what makes me who I am. I know that. I love the sport. Like I said, going into this camp, I had an amazing camp, and I started coming down from like 163 about 10 weeks out, just because it had been a while since I had fought and put on some muscle and put on some little body fat and by the end of that camp, I felt on point. I felt I was going to win, and it just didn't go my way. So I can't really – the preparation was amazing. Whenever you prepare like that, it's hard to really feel bad about anything, because I did what I needed, what I can control, I did, and you can't control outcomes of fights, unfortunately. But the preparation was on point, and so it's frustrating if you aren't able to prepare like you'd like to, and then you have a excuse kind of. But I don't have any excuses.
Who's throwing a ball up and down in front of you?
That's Sneaky Tommy.
Sneaky
He's kind
Tommy.
of how'd you know
I can
that?
see everything. Are you kidding me? I have a nose for these things. Sneaky Tommy.
He's a sneaky little thing, isn't he?
I love that guy.
That's Dash Senior. We call him Dash Senior.
That's his son is Dash Junior, I am assuming, or maybe just Dash.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just Dash.
Which exotic island did you go? I feel like you always go to like a nice place afterwards just to decompress. Where'd you go?
I didn't go to Nice Island. I just went to Santa Barbara for a few days.
Okay.
That's actually where I was born. I was born in Santa Barbara. I have my family there. Hung out. I didn't go to any exotic island. I went to Santa Barbara. I hung out for a little bit, ended up doing some hot yoga. Then I got right back in the gym. We had Cody who was up, and then we had Paige that was up. And so like I said, it's a process to get my weight down, and I just feel like, that's what I do for, some people pay to do CrossFit and they compete in these games, and they're, people have all these different things. I know guys that do the 100-mile marathons and stuff like that. This is what I do for my passion. I luckily get paid to do it. And of course I'm always trying to be the best in the world at it, just like a lot of folks when they're following their passion, but got right back in the gym, able to be in the gym and not necessarily do the stuff you don't want to do, just jump in the sessions you do want to do, but just being there and getting the next generation going and staying prepared. And then they offered me a fight, and I'm like, I have a hard time turning down a fight, especially against a tough opponent like Jimmie Rivera. I've got a chance to watch him and really impressed with the guy. So I've got nothing to protect, and I'm doing what I love, and I'm excited to get back on the horse.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that you're coming back so soon, but this has sort of been your thing. You typically do come back soon if you're not that hurt. So they called you. You didn't tell them, like, hey, I'm ready to come back?
No, they called me.
Wow.
Apparently, I think, per usual, I think Caraway was offered the fight, and he's waiting till November, December to fight and I actually talked to Caraway, and I was like, bro, he's like, I haven't heard anything from the UFC. I'm like, well, they told me they offered you this fight. And he's like, yeah, it's not a smart fight. Rivera's very tough. It doesn't do anything for me and this and that, but I got nothing to protect, man. I'm in there to scrap. I don't want to not give another guy an opportunity or a fight because it's not a smart fight or this fight. Dude, none of these fights are smart fights. It's a dumb profession. We shouldn't be doing this. But what the heck? It's not a smart thing to do ever.
You always feel that way, or have you come to that conclusion in your older days?
It's funny. I like to think about, a lot of people, the biggest fear for a regular person is a physical confrontation. And I do that and have been doing it on the wrestling circuit for 20 some odd years and in the fight game for 13, almost 14 years. And not only am I getting in physical fights on a daily basis, but I'm doing it with some of the best guys on the planet. So it is a little bit of weird when you think about it. But like I said, some people are doing CrossFit. Some guys are doing these marathons. Some people are doing things for their hobbies. I just happen to compete, love fighting, and have a desire to be the best at whatever I'm doing. So, it's not the smartest things. I think when you sit back and think about it, it's just, it is what it is. But yeah, it's more of a new concept, I think.
Are we done with the Cruz thing? Like, or have you moved on from it? Can you just like let it go now?
Yeah, I was never stuck up on it in the first place. It was a good opportunity for me. And like I said, I thought I was going to win.
Yeah.
We have our history, but you know how I am, man. I don't really pay attention to things unless they're in my face, and it happened to be in my face, and it was what it was. But I've had a weird relationship with Cruz throughout the years, just basically having to be in each other's face, in and off the mat, in and out of the octagon. So it is what it is. I don't waste any time thinking about him or what has happened in the past or anything else. It's just my life is my life, and I'm working on powerful things in it.
People throw around the word captain a lot in this world, but you really truly define that word, and I'm not just blowing smoke up your butt. You've done this twice now, and I want to know how this works, because here you are, you're at UFC 169, you just lose very controversially to Renan Barão, and one of the first things that comes out of your mouth is TJ Dillashaw. He's the next guy. Here you are, UFC 199, you lose a heartbreaker to your rival, and one of the first things that comes out of your mouth, Cody Garbrandt. How does this work? I don't see this from other people. And maybe it's unique that you have all these guys in your weight class, but at what point do you think to yourself like, oh, I got to now plug my guy? You're doing the post-fight interview in the cage after your loss, and you're plugging the other guy. It's incredible.
I don't know. I think it goes, I have zero ego, and I love giving new guys opportunities. And it's funny because in the post conference, Cruz is like, "You making money off of all these guys?" I'm like, bro, if you had any clue how much money I've wasted building this amazing team, you would just be shutting your mouth at the point. And I was like, I enjoy bringing up the next generation. I think people have to understand, like, a guy like Cody Garbrandt has looked to me for guidance. He's poured his heart out. I've heard his backstory. And the same with TJ. TJ lived in my house when he was down and out. I've made opportunities for him. I've brought him along on me working with great trainers throughout the years, and until these guys get their feet wet. But bigger than that, I've got guys like Joseph Morales and Angelo Trevino and Solomon Amahar, who have been with me since they're 10, 11, 12, 13 years old.
Wow.
Andrew Coyne, call him Bulldog. These guys have been with me since before they hit puberty, into new opportunities. Like now they're about to be 5-0 and 6-0 and the top training partners in the gym and things like that. And I get a lot of pride and enjoyment out of giving back and seeing the next generation go, because at the end of the day, money's money or whatever, but the people you're surrounded with and the people that are your network, I mean, that's what's important. I have friendships that have lasted since before I can remember, that are childhood friendships and built friendships along the way. And I enjoy seeing new opportunities for people, and I really believed that it was TJ's chance because I had trained with him in the gym, and I really believe that it's Cody's opportunity because I trained with him in the gym. And we've had these discussions before, and I need all my guys to believe that. And me being on the stage and being able to hand down the torch, per se, is a good opportunity, and it doesn't take anything away from me.
You've done a great job of building yourself up for these big money fights and having these options. I still feel like the Dillashaw fight is a big money fight that's waiting for you. Did you
big money for who?
I don't know. You told.
That's think about that. There's a certain couple of scenarios where that would be a big money fight, but
tell me them. Which scenarios?
If it was for a belt,
okay. You don't think
that would be?
You don't think Dillashaw Faber at the new arena in Sacramento is a big deal?
I mean, is it a big money fight for everyone else?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because you don't make a cut from the ticket sales.
I don't make a cut from anything.
Right.
Unless it's a title,
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So is it fair to say you're not interested in that fight anymore?
No, I never was really interested in that fight. When I think of TJ Dillashaw's situation, it makes me more sad than anything else. It's not like a fighting situation, It's just kind of a weird gig. I never rule out anything. You never know what's going to happen, but it's not like I'm setting my sights on that fight. That'll be an uncomfortable build-up. That'll be uncomfortable all the way through, and then it'll be then it'd be a fight. So I'm not ruling anything out, but I take one fight at a time. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm a very spontaneous guy, so. I would like to fight in Sacramento at the new arena. That's been a monumental thing that I think should definitely happen. Who is that going to be? We don't know. We'll see. This next fight, I got to focus on this next guy. This guy, these guys that are ranked in the top 15, it's not because they're below anyone necessarily. It's because they're brand new and people don't know who they are. There was a time when people didn't know who I was. There was a time when people didn't know who TJ was and Barao and everyone else. This guy that I'm fighting is very, very tough. I've had a chance to watch some of his interviews, and I see how dedicated he is to perfecting the game. I know that he's a well-rounded fighter. He brings a huge skill set. He's a young, hungry athlete. So I take this fight just like I'll take a championship fight. I take it very serious.
What did you think of TJ's win over Sunsao? Since you obviously beat a Sunsao not that long ago, maybe 5 or so years ago now, maybe more, 6.
I don't know.
It's been a while.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm still going to watch it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You didn't watch it?
I was there at UFC 100, but I got there just a little bit late. We were dealing with this. The UFC put us up in these seats that were like difficult to get to, and then it ended up being a bunch of drama with the younger fighters because everybody was confused about where they were going. And I saw TJ walking out after his win, but I didn't get to see the fight.
Okay.
Yeah, and I haven't seen it, so I'll watch it.
But so let me ask.
Like I said, I don't really like watching.
Yeah. I hear you.
Stuff that doesn't make me feel good, I just shut things out. But I'll watch it just because it's a relevant fight for me.
Did you enjoy what you saw from 200? Did you enjoy the experience?
It was kind of a weird experience, to be honest. I was dealing with it was just weird matchups. Weird. Everything was weird about that whole. I don't know if you felt the same way, but
yeah, I did.
The drama leading up to it, then the sale of the UFC was kind of overshadowing things, and then the seating situation was had 60 fighters all up in arms because they're getting mobbed by crowds up in the in the mid section of the seating. So we're dealing with trying to figure out what was going on there because people were confused and everything else. So. I always enjoy fights. That's my passion. But it was just weird. I like to see. What's funny is the whole Brock and Hunt thing. We've seen Brock, and first off, I saw the interview before Brock's fight, and that's what I would have liked to seen from the guy the very first time he stepped into our sport. He was humble and he was realistic, and he just seemed like a different guy. And that's kind of what I remember from him as a wrestler. You know, it was like a humble guy that was coming in to perform, and you know, I like to see that. I just watched that recently, and it was cool to see a Division I wrestler who is a favorite in my mind no matter what, who kind of became an underdog because we've seen him not be real comfortable under fire. Just kind of prove again that wrestling's a super important part of this game.
Sure.
You know?
Although what happened on Friday mars that a little bit potentially, right?
See, I'm like in my own world, so fill me in. What's going on?
Oh, well, USADA announced via the UFC that he has been flagged for a potential PD violation stemming from an out-of-competition drug test that happened June 28th. So, what is it, 13 days or so before the fight?
How does it work? I thought, from what I understand,
yeah,
and I don't know how this whole thing works, USADA is a independently hired governing body. And the UFC has the ability to pull some sort of exemptions. And I guess because Brock had been in the WWE and not the UFC, they gave him some sort of exemption. But now the exemption doesn't matter. But I'm assuming they knew something was up, but we're giving him some sort of exemption because he got short notice, if that's really the case.
Well, I think you're combining two things. When if you come out, let's say you retire right now, you decide right here on this show, you retire, that you're walking away from the sport. If you want to come back to the sport at some point, you have to give them a 4-month heads up before your next fight. So they'll test you and make sure that you're all on the up and up, right? But that's because the 4-month thing, what they're saying is because you have been a part of the sport in the USADA era. They said, okay, Brock Lesnar wasn't a part of the sport in the USADA era, so we're going to waive this 4-month period of testing and allow him to come in and fight in a month. Now, a lot of people thought, like, look, you're kind of picking and choosing. You know, this guy may not, you know, have the 4-month. That guy may. It just seems like a bit of a weird thing. But important to note that he passed, I believe, 5 drug tests leading up to that June 28th. Date. So he was being tested a lot leading up to that. And then for some reason, this one particular one, we still don't know what the substance is. So let me ask you this question. He gets tested June 28th, but the results only come out after the fight. As a fighter, doesn't that bother you? Like, what's the point of doing out-of-competition testing pre-fight if it's going to come back after the fight? And that's what Mark Hunt is very upset about. He's like, wait, you're testing him before, it's coming out after. He could have gotten hurt. Something could have happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, it puts things in perspective when you see, like, Cyborg's head get crushed, his skull get crushed. And, you know, there's the human body and certain individuals have certain abilities. Is there a legal, like, attempted murder if you're using or something like that? If you're using potentially, you know, using something to make yourself a weapon that's illegal and then you crush somebody's skull or something like that, like, yeah, it's a weird thing. That's one of the reasons why, you know, we have rules in this sport is to make sure that stuff like that doesn't happen. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really done all the research on what should or shouldn't happen. I know that, you know, the cheaters are going to try to find a way to cheat over and over again. I've never been that guy. I pride myself on that. I have a real, feeling of pride, the fact that I've never done anything like that. And I know that guys, even though they've passed drug tests and everything else, they don't have that same pride, some people, and not saying any names or anything like that, but, you know, they know who they're out there. But this is a sport to test yourself and to see where you stand up. And it's like a chick with, like, fake lips, fake boobs, fake hair, fake teeth, fake tan. Like, when she has a kid, the genetics are not going to show any of that stuff. Sure. You know, it's one of those things where you're looking at where do you really stack up? And I have a lot of pride in the fact that I've been a top contender, a world champion for over 14 years. I'm 37 in this sport, feeling amazing, and never have cheated. Everyone else, it is what it is. That's your own internal battle. People get bothered by this or that. You know, that's the way I look at it, and so I'll just be proud of myself, and that's it. What was your reaction when you heard the $4 billion number that the UFC sold for? I've always said you have been one of the smartest business minds in this sport. I've told you that. $4 billion. Were you surprised? That's the fastest turtle, by the way. Fair enough. What'd you think? That's like you're one of the best looking interview guys or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Reporters, so.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I actually.
Well, is that really a compliment?
No. But what'd you think? What'd you think of that number?
First off, I've had a chance to build a relationship with Lorenzo Fertitta and Frank Fertitta, and I've had, got to know Dana and everyone else. I mean, they're business guys. That's their fight game. So as long as they're not breaking any laws and they're able to turn a company like that into a $2 million investment with a lot of hard work and a lot of money behind that into what it is today, I mean, I had to take my hat off and say congratulations and thank you for my opportunities. Now, would you also like to see the fighters getting a bigger piece of the pie? 100%. Will that happen in the future? I sure hope so. I know William Morris Endeavor, IMG, has dealt with football players and basketball players and baseball players and the Screen Actors Guild, so they know about what's fair and what's not. Are they going to make a move to give a bigger piece of the pie? I don't think it's going to be their big conscious decision, but it may be something that happens for us. $4 billion is a lot. I'm not going to complain about the money that I've got. It's not a scratch in the it's not a scratch on the surface of any of that kind of money, but I'm just doing my little part, and there's been a lot of moving parts. So it was pretty cool to see how the sport's going, but it just makes you wonder what's next for us.
True or false? Before he retires, before he walks away from the sport, Urijah Faber will get another crack at the UFC title.
Oh, come on, bro. Of course.
Yeah.
All the haters, you know what I mean? Hey, here's something to think about.
Yes.
I have been fighting. Well, the UFC. What year did the UFC integrate WEC to the UFC?
I believe that was 2011.
The 2011. So that was 5 years ago. So I was 32 when the UFC brought
2010.
2010. I was probably 32 when the UFC brought the WC into our sport. I mean, I feel like, and I've been a top contender right now. I'm ranked number 2 contender, I think, on the rankings for the weight class. And I've been a world champion. When they had my division in the WC, even before the WC,
yep.
I was the king of the cage, the Gladiator Challenge, fighting for the WFA, for all these organizations, grabbing these opportunities and being a pioneer. But this UFC, everyone talks about missing the opportunity for the UFC. It's only been 5 years since they've had my division in the weight class, and I mean, you can say what about whatever matchups or whatever opportunities that I've had or haven't had, but how many guys have been able to stay at the top for this long and be able to knock down contenders and get yourself positioned for big fights at 145s and 135s? This all comes down to matchups and good days. The last time I fought Cruz, he rocked me in the second. He kind of rocked me in the fourth with 2 punches. I feel like that was good for him. The last fight I fought him before that, I rocked him in the second, and I rocked him in the fourth. Or I rocked him in the first. I rocked him in the fourth. This is a game of millimeters and centimeters, and I'll be poised, ready for opportunities. That's the way I play this game, and that's why I don't shy away from. I'm not looking for the right matchup. I've fought guys that no one's heard of. I've fought guys that are legends like Frankie Edgar. I just love this fight game, and I'm passionate about it. I feel great about it. There's big things happening. I like to be an example for my guys on a bunch of different levels. I like to see the next generation go. So I'm just excited about being poised to take any opportunity and keep myself in tip-top shape, because that's what I love to do.
Man, I wish I could be as positive as you. It's unbelievable.
Thanks, buddy.
You are something else.
You're pretty positive.
I am pretty positive.
Although you do shed a tear on occasion.
Listen.
A heartfelt,
by the way,
well-deserved tear.
There's nothing wrong with that, with being in touch with your emotions.
Oh, dude, hey, bro. Okay. I've been getting choked up before.
Yeah.
I've been choked up.
Hey, what's
no, up? It was pretty cool to see all the other journalists and from all over the place get your back on that thing. That had to make you feel good. Oh,
to say that would be an understatement. And the fans as well in Las Vegas, I talked about this last week. They don't need to hear it again, but blew me away, their support. Really, it did. It really did. And I know I had your support as well, even though you didn't really, you you were dealing with some other stuff. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't even know when it was.
It would actually, I didn't get to see the post-fight interview because it was going down. In case you're wondering, we were both
it was a good interview.
We were both experiencing lows at the same time. That's why we're always going to be.
But it's funny. In that, Cruz was talking about me like, oh, you just pumping up your guys, this and that. And he goes, I go, man, I got a whole generation of guys that are coming up that I'm going to continue to pump up. Oh, will you make money off of them or this and that? And then he's like, I got guys that are coming up too. Guys like, and he started naming off guys, and I go, hey, it feels good to give some recognition to other people. It feels good to pump up your guys, doesn't it? He's like, yeah, it does. I go, all right, well, now you understand.
And the feud continues. Ray Sandoval of Team Alpha Male fame fighting Wilson Hayes. Alex. Why do I say Ray? Because it's Hector, and everyone keeps correcting me that it's Alex. Why did I say Ray? Anyway, Alex Sandoval. But is it Hector or is it Alex?
His name's Hector. He goes by Alex. We call him Jose.
Perfect. He's fighting Wilson Hayes.
Because he's so fast that we'd use him as Jose Aldo for training.
Wow.
So we call him Jose Alex, and then his real name's Alex, and then his real name's Hector.
That's amazing. Okay, so he's fighting Wilson Hayes in a little less than 2 weeks. My final question to you.
Hey,
yes, go ahead.
Okay.
No.
This is the final question.
What do you want to say?
I was going to say this guy's roller coaster story has been nuts.
Who?
Alex. He's Alex Sandoval. He's been a stay-at-home dad. He's been very close on a couple of occasions to getting this opportunity. Then he almost gets on The Ultimate Fighter, and then something happens where he can't, at the last minute he can't go. Then he lost his opportunity, and then we get the call for Wilson Hayes on like a couple weeks' notice, and then he says, "Yeah, we'll do it." And then Wilson Hayes chooses some other guy. Then the other guy gets kicked out, and then Alex gets the opportunity again. So It's like, this guy's been going. He had like a going away party with his family and all this stuff, and I mean, he's poised. He's ready to take this fight.
Wow, I love that. Now I'm emotionally invested in the fight. You just did a great job of promoting it.
Okay.
What is it?
And he's also been Joseph Benavidez's top sparring partner, Cody's top sparring partner, TJ's top sparring partner, my top sparring partner, but just has not had the opportunity yet. So I mean, he's going to come in game. It's going to be a good fight.
What does it say on your bracelet? Eat the truth. What does that mean?
This is pride over profit. This is the new supplement company, Purist. PuristLabs.net.
Okay.
And I told you, I've been smarter about my training. I've always been super healthy about the way I live my life. But these little advantages like amino acids, right after that you step off the mat, a little bit of caffeine, which I've never used until the fight before Frankie Edgar. Little pre-workout, little Noxygen, little Amino D, like all these little things are giving me a nice little edge. And, looking for every opportunity. I learned that from Vitor Belfort. He's calling me, asking about like some like special butter that we use in our coffee. And he's asking about like different things. He's always looking for this edge to help, keep his career going and staying on top of things. And I'm like, all right, Vitor. I mean, he may not always toe the line, but he's looking for every advantage.
Yes, they don't call him the young lion for anything. Okay, now my real final question is, what's it?
Okay.
Why do the alpha male guys have this connection with somewhat large comedians, female comedians? You and Rosie, Cody and Roseanne. What is going on over here? This is a strange phenomenon brewing. You
already asked me this, but a good way to circle back.
Did I?
I don't know. They're good people. They like. Well, I would say Cody's a handsome dude.
Yeah.
And he's a passionate guy, and says it how it is.
He's incredibly handsome.
Brutally. Well, I'm glad you think so.
He's got that quad.
Brutally honest. Go ahead. Go on.
He's got the neck tattoos. I mean, how can you resist? Although he's spoken for. I met his lovely girlfriend, so I don't want to infringe on his territory.
Yeah, we changed his name to Olive. Oh,
wow, man. He's becoming a softie?
He's just in the right moments.
Okay. You're right.
But I don't know. We love that support.
Sure.
Roseanne Barr. I mean, these ladies are they're alpha females without a doubt.
Right.
You know, game recognized game, homie.
That's right. West Side till I die. All right.
That's it.
Okay. Well, this is great.
Hey, by the way,
yeah.
I've got a couple new recruits that we're talking about having come out. Jordan Oliver is one guy that's going to be coming out to our team.
Okay.
He's right now one of the most decorated U.S. wrestlers in the nation, and he's good friends with DC. He's been talking about going to AKA and going out with Aaron Simpson and those guys. And he's coming out to Team Alpha Male. But folks, keep your eye out for Jordan Oliver.
Okay.
And then we got Mike DePalma. Mike DePalma took 5th in nationals, and he's actually showing up today for his first week of training with Team Alpha Male. He's another tough wrestler that's going to be making the transition. So we're excited about the future of the team. We've got a new gym that's brewing.
You're building one?
About 3 miles. Yeah, changing locations to a new, bigger location that's going to be top-notch facility. So we're excited about that. And it's cool, man. We've got a bunch of cool stuff going on.
So no one breaking into your house anymore and dropping a deuce in the pool, all that. It's all.
Well, you never say never, never say die. That's my thing. You know what I mean? I like to step
Sacramento.
it up. That was a big girl that came in. I like to. Next time, I like her to be a little bit bigger and drop a bigger deuce.
Where are you, by the way? It's a beautiful office or room that you're in.
This is Tommy's office.
Whoa.
Right here.
There he is, Tommy.
And,
look at those guns.
So we're having a meeting over here about the new gym.
Oh, wow.
Over there. We also run MMA Draft, which is about to relaunch with the MMAU University, an online university for mixed martial arts. We do that out of here. And this is also Brightway Dental headquarters. It's a business that I'm a part of.
Jesus.
So this is kind of like this is a headquarters for a bunch of different business stuff. Team Alpha Male, a lot of different things. So we're out here handling business.
I thought Tommy just picked up your dry cleaning.
Which is part of the reason why I don't know about all the BS that's going on in the MMA world, because I'm doing not like...
You're not on Twitter scrolling through. I thought Tommy just picked up your dry cleaning. That was it. Apparently he does more than that.
Dude, Tommy's a
I'm
CE
kidding. Let me tell you something about
mother effing O.
Let me tell you something. Tommy.
But also,
Tommy's wife is Candy. Is that his wife?
That's it.
I mean,
yeah.
if
she's actually in here too. She's actually in here. There she. You're gonna take a little tour here. Here's Tommy's office. This is Josh Espy, who's the CEO of Team Alpha Male now, baby.
Wow. How are you, sir, Josh?
He used to be with on it. This is Dave. Dave used to beat me up when he was a coach at a junior college, and I was a freshman or a senior in high school. Here's Handy Candy.
Hello, Candy. How are you? I was going to say, what I wanted to say was...
my office.
Wow, you have a nice office. I wish they can all be on the ball as Candy. You text Candy about getting on the show. She gets back to you within seconds.
Sure can.
Yeah.
And these are some lovely ladies that are waiting. They're about to do a radio commercial for the new UFC gym that we're doing in Rockland.
Wow, look at you. Business is booming. Alpha Male HQ.
This is also a ping pong table. This is a ping pong table in case you want to get whooped up.
Okay. Wow. People are actually thriving in the business world in Sacramento. Who knew?
Well, you gotta stop being so ignorant.
All right.
You know
all
what
right.
I mean?
Well,
it's not all about Ariel's world. There's other things going on.
That is true. Okay, I've taken up enough of your time. Get your meetings. Get that paper, as they say. Get that paper.
Cheddar, cheese, cash, Skrilla.
Yeah. Cheddar makes it better. Rampage Jackson, my man. All day. I'm happy to I'm happy to see you're in good spirits, Urijah. I'm looking forward to your fight in Cleveland, Ohio.
Did you expect anything less?
No, I didn't. I really didn't. I was hoping for like a big retirement announcement and all that stuff, but we'll save that one for a different day.
Well, I'm glad that you are hoping for me to retire. That's great. I hope you retire too.
No, I'm just kidding. It will be you know what? I'm hanging it up if you retire at some point. I'm never doing the show again. I'm kidding. I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna go home and read your book now. Third time.
You acted like you read it a bunch of times.
Third time.
I'm like, bro, you asked me a question. I'm like, I thought you read my book.
Thank you, Urijah. All the best to you. We'll talk to you soon.
Tell your mom I said hello.
Oh,
I appreciate her support.
Oh, my God. She's about to lose it. She's going to text me in a minute right now. She's watching. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Mama knows. Mama knows.
That is right. Urijah Faber. What a class act, this guy. Unbelievable. He returns at UFC 203. Wow. Got a tour of his office. You can't beat that. That's the MMA Hour for you. All right. I've gone a little too far. Are we done, Eric?
We're done.
Everyone's had enough of me back there. Okay. That's it. Yes? You back?
That's it.
Any Pokemon updates? Anything happen?
No, come on. You think we're playing Pokemon while we're watching the show here?
Possibly.
No.
Could you turn on your phone and tell me if there are any in this room right now? Like there could be one chilling right next to me.
It could be, but I'd have to be next to you. Meaning like...
Okay, what about in your studio?
It's 1-to-1. All right, hold on.
Okay, here we go.
This is not going to be exciting, by the way.
I just want to know. I want you to tell me if there's one in that room, and then we'll say goodbye. Come on, hurry up.
We've got nothing, Ariel.
Zero?
There's nothing in this room.
All right.
Except for human beings. Who are being held captive.
All right. You can hit my music. I am done. There it is. I was kind of... Oh, there's my mom. She loved it. She thanks Urijah Faber for the shout out. Watching the show every single week. You gotta love that. You talk about support. That is support. Fun show this week. We go from Derek Lewis's beauty salon, James Gallagher, Campbell McLaren, Urijah Faber. I mean, we had it all. Something for everyone on today's episode of the MMA Hour. How about that? So, UFC back on Saturday. UFC on Fox 20. Holly Holm, can she get back on track after that devastating loss to Miesha Tate? We shall find out in 5 days. For now, we say goodbye. Thank you very much to Mark Raymundi for stopping by. Thank you very much to Derek Lewis. Congratulations on his win. Congrats on the new beauty salon. Thank you very much to Valentina Bullet Shevchenko. Good luck to her on Saturday. Thank you to Campbell McLaren. Good luck to him. Kombacha returns August 11th. Congrats to Amanda Nunes, becoming new champ. Congrats to James Gallagher on his successful debut. Good stuff, Lando Venata. Thank you, Lando Venata, I should say. Thank you very much for stopping by, and always a pleasure to talk to Urijah Faber as well. Rate us on iTunes. Check us out, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, all that good stuff and more. Back next week, same time, place, Peace. Somebody.